adding the searching at the beginning, the profile 20 times 20 and aluminum and download and SolidWorks. We can't open it. Okay, we're searching another possible variant. So maybe this we could downloading. So I don't remember. I have. So we need to choose the software, the type of the files, and usually SolidWorks if we have this the PRT, this format, but you could use a lot of different formats. Okay, version is not important. And downloading, click to download. Click to the link. Placing here and extracting. Continue. The times 30 is not the 20 times. Is not this. Not correct. Yes. Profile. Aluminum. 20 times 20. Checking this. Yes. It is the better, fastest way to find. Well, usually we use the aluminum. It's maybe faster. It could be profile 2020, maybe another construction, not the same view. If produced from other material. From the aluminum profile, it's still always the same profile. Maybe from steel, we can't find this profile, but could be the same name 20 times 20. From steel, it's from aluminum also it's possible to find another solutions, but standard way 20 times 20, it means the profile like this. From the steel made profiles, 20 times 20, it could be like letter L, like this form 20 times 20, or square 20 times 20, it is another format. In sense, it's possible to get bigger list if we don't placing the aluminum, the material, and that purpose only. And it's faster to find if we place the material. So now we see this is 20 times 20. This is SolidWorks library online. Okay, could check this. In the profile, yeah, what looks good. It's not important. It's not good. We need to reopen it and to recognize. It would be much better. Open it one more time. And try to click yes to recognize the form, the feature. Well, we can't editing fully, and better if we doing recognition. So then we could check the features that we need. Or we could add this face to recognize. And checking it. So now it's much better. We recognize, the system recognizes the profile and done extrude process. So now we could check the length and place on 90 millimeters and saving under another name. File 2020. So the next it is we need to create new assembly. Or okay, we could directly doing the assembly in this assembly directly. Okay, we inserting this part, placing something here, and now we need to position it. This surface we positioning with this. You see there is two surfaces here. By needs you could deleting and changing or checking if it is good with middle mouse button. If it is good, it's okay. It's coincident, it is also good, and assigning it. So now we check it and try to move. We can move it, but it's always on the same surface. We can't move somewhere apart, but you see the difference. But always we could go back if you failing and try one more time. To mating it, so it's good. Another what we need to add totally 4 vertical elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, and after 3 other horizontal elements. Good, we could do 2 ways. One way, copying Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and Ctrl+V. We have 3 parts, and with arrow we could move. If we click to this, so we could move up, down. By needs, we could rotate it. If we click to the arrows here in this orange color. So now we another one. We need 4 elements, so we have 4. Now we need to place by the real distance that we need, and we need to check it. How we could measure in this old assembly? We need to click to evaluate, measuring, and assigning or choosing 2 surfaces. And we see the distance between 2 surfaces is 30 millimeters. Okay, go back, and we need to position it. Assembly, mate, now choosing this surface, mating with this surface, and we need to choose 30 millimeters. So we have distance. Good. Now we need to mate it well by this surface and other by another 2 dimensions. checking with this. So it's good made. We will see coincident and assigning it. And the last one, the vertical position. We need to mating this with this surface, or a better solution, it is mating with this material, with this part together. It means this top with this top surfaces. And if we are assigning it, you see it's somewhere hanging on the top. If we assigning it, you see the list of all mates is here, but still we need to place in the vertical position. Checking again, choosing this, rotating with this, and now we position it well. Good. Which one part we position it? This and this part. And now we could moving on that surface. It means we have positioned this part only on the vertical position. What's next? So we need to positioning well from both X and Y axis this one element, and we need to check the distances. And the distance is better to check like this. Click to evaluate, measuring, and we could check it's okay. We could use this distance from this surface. You see it's 40 millimeters. Good, we go back to this and click to assembly, mating, and choosing these two surfaces, this and this surface. Standard way, it's doing coincident, and we need to add distance. And adding distance 40 millimeters, click to enter, and it's positioned in that direction. If we try to move, so we could move only in that direction, only the direction of Z. So, and we need positioning well from this side. So we need to check it, evaluate, measuring this surface corresponding to this surface. It's still the same, 40 millimeters. Go back, and now we positioning it. This surface. Standard way, default way is coincident, and we need to place 40, enter, and we position it. This vertical profile well, and now we need to check could be moved or not. We can't move it. I click with left mouse button on this part and try to move it by holding switch it on, and I can do that. It means position it well, fully. From another way how I could understand it, well, I don't have minus sign before this part. It means fully position it in 3 dimensions. Now I see 2 minus signs here. This part is not positioned very well in 3 dimensions. So I need to do that. I need to check the distance between these 2 elements here. Click to evaluate, measuring, click to this and this surface, and we're checking it's again 30 millimeters. It's here 30 and here 30 millimeters. Good, go back. Now click to assembly, mating, and click to this and to this element. And by default way, it's coincident. It's made. If you need change the alignment, you could do like this, but I don't need now. This way is good for me, but I need add some distance. Here, if you click to the distance, you could adding it, and 30 millimeters I adding. So 30 millimeters, but I don't see it's good or not good. And the best way if we moving it, example I assigning it and try to move it. I move it and I see that is something wrong. What I can do, I need to open the last one made. I know that the last made was made with this part. I could open here or here, directly made, and searching the last made. So I can edit it, this, and I see 30 millimeters from this and this is distance good, but wrong the distance, the direction. If I click to flip dimensions, it's moving to this part. So you have two possibilities: flip dimension to minus and plus, or if you have this, you could place at the beginning minus 30. It should be the same. Maybe it's not possible now to doing it. Okay. There is no possibility now, but you could change this, or of course you could do like this. But this distance is wrong if you're doing this. If you're doing this, also is wrong. With this you could change the position, it rotates 180 degrees. And with this you're changing the direction. So now it's positioned well, 30 millimeters between these two surfaces. I agree with this. Now I'm checking, or it could be moved. Oh, I see. I can't move in that direction, but I can move along the x-axis. Good, I need to position here. And if I click to this part, I see minus before the name. It means not fully positioned. What I can do, I can click to mates and choosing these two surfaces, this surface and this surface. Now position it well by my understanding and try to move this part. I can't move. When checking it, it is without minus sign at the beginning. It means position it well in the 3D environment. So if you opening these mates, you see, don't change the color to the yellow or red color or orange. It's all mates working well, and I don't need to correct it. The next I need to place mating this part. The best choice. The first I mating like this. You see it's wrong. Coincident, these two faces, it's good faces. Coincident is good, but I need to change the direction. And I have only one possibility. If I don't have distance, I click to this and it rotates. I checking, and I see that it's well positioned in its vertical position. Good, and try to move this part. I can move in two directions. Good. Now I need to position here. And I'm choosing this surface example and this. It's mated like this. And I could choose not only the coincident, but also the parallel if I need. But best way now to doing the distance. If I'm doing 30 millimeters distance, it's not bad. But from my understanding, it's better to use not the distance, but the coincident with this surface here and this surface here. It's much better like using the distance. Well, simple. If I need to change the position. What happens if I changing the position of this? For example, to 40 millimeters distance apart this. It moves this direction. And this don't move together. If I know that this all parts is like one quadrat form, it's better to mating this surface with this surface. And I need to change only one distance between this and this. And both together moves to the bigger distance. So it's recommended to use smaller amounts of the distances apart from other part, and better to use the coincident. So, okay, if I doing like this, positioning this and this surface, good, and now I checking and try to move. I can't move. And I see I don't have the minus sign at the beginning. It means position it well. So now I told you if I need to change the distance from this and this part. So I click to the part maybe, using for this part made it mates, and checking. Move with the mouse without clicking, nothing. And I see the first one is showed two surfaces, this surface and this. If I move to the second one, is distance made between this and this surface. If I click to this, coincident, I see this and this surfaces. So now I need to change this distance and editing feature. So I could change 40 millimeters, enter. It changes. I'm assigning it, closing. And what happens, you see, it's not parallel this surface with this. In that purpose, I need to change also again another one dimension distance until I solve it, or if I changing this mate, this distance, mating again and click to the coincident surface, or better now is best way to delete it totally. I opening this, click to distance and deleting. In the keyboard, click delete. And answer to the question, and you see two mates. If I closing it, I can move in that direction. Now, as I told before, the better position is this and this surface, the assigning together, the coincidenting it, click to this and this. Good, coincidence, and I agree with this. So now I can move fully position. And if I need to change the distance between this part and this part, I open the mate, click to the distance, and I can click here double doing, or opening here with the mouse, and I changing position to 50 millimeters. And you see both parts moved apart the bottom part, and now is better, faster to working. So now I need to go back to the 30 millimeters, click to this part, click to view all mates of this part, click to this, double click to this, and I can change distance to 30 millimeters, click to enter with the keyboard, and assigning it. I need to assign it, and you see, I see some sign, and I need to recalculate, redrawing it, but you see here directly. Again, this. If you doing right click, we can do, if you're choosing the top parts of the menu, you see this sign is rebuilding. In wall list it's only one distance, don't rebuild it very well, while I done not from the down but from the top the steps and changing the distance. It means need to recalculate simple system. If I click to this, is the best choice to doing that, and should disappear this sign. Another way, if you click to save, you could check it or it rebuilds itself or not. Okay, we click to, you see, it's question. You need to rebuild. Sign to it, rebuild and save the document. So if you don't need to rebuild, you click to save without rebuilding. Rebuilding and moves itself. The same will be if I clicking here. And now disappears the sign and you don't see the errors in this list anymore. Good. Solution is made. The next I need to add another 3 elements, 3 parts on the top, and these 2 parts from both sides fully from the start up to end of the profile should be this length, and middle position very short. Good. Now we can check the distance, evaluating, measuring between this surface and this surface. And we see this is 70 millimeters. Of course it was here inside 30 millimeters plus 20 plus 20. Good, click to escape and opening this part. From this part I creating another one part and click to save as, and the best choice if you click save as, copy and open. Why? Well, if I saving this, it will be saved this part, and if I changing only the name and the length, it changes again inside this. If I changing length and the name, this part changes the name here and the length here, but I don't need it. I need to have another length, another name of the file. And if I click save as, and the best choice, you have 2 possibilities to do it. It means the better if you're doing directly this, copy and open. It means new copied file opens on the top of your windows. The better to use. And you need to save another name, 02 example, save it, and closing the original document. It means the older version, the 01, it's closing and opens only 02. So, and now I need to change the distance. Click here, the better, and choose 70 millimeters. We have 70 millimeters, save it again, go to the assembly, and I need to place here. Assembly, insert components. If the part is open in another window, I could directly place here. What's next? I need double this part. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. I have 2 parts directly here in the same place, but best way if I see both parts. Simple, I need to click to the arrow and move on my choose a direction and so on. That should be separated, these parts, better to understand. So now I need to place on the top. Click to the mate, that surface, and I need to check is good or not. I see that is wrong, position it. It means I need to change. So if I click to alignment, it go on the top. So now it's good. I assign it. What's next? Mating this surface and this surface. Good. Now we could check. I can move only that direction. It means I need to mate this surface with this surface. And now I can't move this part with the mouse. And checking again. I know you have minus sign before. It's fully positioned well in 3 dimensions. The next, doing the same with this part. Positioning this surface with this example. Now positioning this surface with this. All surfaces I position, I trying with the first one part, while this part should be parallel and the distance like this should be. I see it's wrong position. Click to the mating, here, alignment, and now good. I check can I move or not. If I can move, better to positioning somewhere nearer position and not directly here, but that I could see that after mating I have the changes in the view. Good. Now I mating this surface, and better place not the distance, while again if I need to change the distance I need check this distance, and if I positioning with this surface or this surface of this part, it's the same. I moving always all 3 parts with one distance only. I assigning it, and I see now without minus sign, it means fully positioned in the 3 dimensions. And the last one element I need to place here. The distance was 30 millimeters, but I don't have this length of this part. It means I need to create new one. Opening this part, click to the save as, and copy and open. And I could change the name to 03, closing original document, and now I have 03. You see here and see here the same name. Now I'm changing, click here and here, and editing feature to the length of this feature 30 millimeters. Assigning it, saving it, and now I'm closing it. And checking the window is open at only 2 assemblies, the old one and new one. And if you click to assemble insert components, you don't see in the list here, it means you need to open it. And you need longer time to searching this, it's okay, it's not difficult now. But if you have a lot of files, maybe faster is not closing the document and you see in the list directly this file that you opened it before. Now doing this looks like I don't close it. So this part, and if you click to the window, you see this part, old and new one assembled. If I click to insert, now I see this part simpler to choose from here and much faster. Good, and now I need to position it. Click to the mates, here in the top surface, coincident is good. Now I need to move this to this surface, mating, and this surface with this surface. What? Position it well. The next, it is if now we're doing some error and it means we need to change this distance. Example. Click to this, distance, editing distance, and choosing 40 millimeters. And you see now we have the gap. So, and we maybe don't know directly what happens and why this gap performs. We mating this surface with this surface. This with this. Try to coincident. And you see the system itself don't recognize that good coincident. If I click here, assign it, you see that is some question appears, and now you have two possibilities to choose. Add this mate and break other mates to satisfy it, or add this mate and overdefine the assembly. This is your choice. If you click first, this part moves to this part and disappears or changes this distance, 40 millimeters as the mate. Doing this, recalculate, and you see sometimes happens that you have a lot of errors. Simple, I closing it, I don't need to check it, everything. And if you see some errors, you see what happens, and from the beginning of learning CAD systems, you don't know where is error, and you are arguing very, and so on. You see how many different positions the mates is wrong. The best choice, you need to deleting the mates that is with the errors and starting from the red one. If you deleting this, it could happen that by deleting 2 or 3 mates, it's going well. But sometimes it happens if you deleting only one red one mate, it solves very well with other mates. Click to this and click on the keyboard delete, or with right mouse click and after with left delete it. Yes, you see disappears all errors. Good, looks good, but you see it's not very well shows here. But we don't caring now about that. We need to position and find solutions to positioning well. What's next? We need to check again or all parts is fully positioned. You see all parts is positioned well, while at the beginning we don't have the minus sign. Good. What's next? We need positioning this and this surface. Click to mate and this surface. I can't do that. Okay. Click to this, again I have the errors. Let's position it now, this part moves to this direction. And again I have errors. With this choice, if it happens, you could do also go back step. With this button or Ctrl Z. Go back, and if you're rebuilding it, so it means, and one more time maybe go back, so you don't have possibility. Okay. Sometimes it happens that by saving you can't do it 2 times back. Go again to the red one, delete it, and you don't have errors anymore, but positioning not well. What I need to do, opening and try to search. It means opening this part and checking the mates. This mate is well, this mate is good, coincident, this is coincident, this is coincident. I don't see the errors, the mistakes. Good. I check this. Open this mates and checking all mates. This, I agree with this, With this I agree, with this I agree, and with this agree. I don't see arrows. And checking this, if I checking this, I see distance. So this is wrong. I could change the distance by needs if I place in 30 millimeters, adding here, click to enter, it moves here. Or at the beginning I could deleting it, and I need to check it again. So opening, deleting it, you see it. But now I doing again this. So what happens, looks good, but I have minus at the beginning, here and here the same. I don't position it very well in the space. So I check it, again I can move it. What I need to do, I need place or distance between this and this part, or the mating coincidence, this surface with this surface. And should be well the same variants. I mating, sorry, one more time, mating this surface with this surface. Good. Looks good? Not good. I need to add another one, this with this surface. Now I see that it's positioned well. Square from the top, all parts is positioned well, and now I agree with this construction. Good. Saving it. And now in the list I see a lot of parts. And one solution is, if I doing the drafting from this, it means I have big list of the parts. This is wrong solution. Example, this parts 40 times 40 with the caps together, this all I could check or creating another sub-assembly from this part. The same still with this part and this part. It means could be assembled separately. Bottom part, the profile, the bigger profiles and the smaller profiles. It means different peoples in reality could assembling it and after placing here. It means you reducing the number of parts in the main drawing. In the bachelor work, it's very important to reducing the number of parts. And what happens if you placing all parts like this, number of parts into one assembly? It's wrong. Why? If you're doing the drawing from this, for example, okay, choosing bigger one, A3 format, and positioning this views, and I doing the table of the parts. Click to tables, bill of materials. Sorry, the beginning better to add the numbers. Annotations and auto balloons doing. So you see auto balloons is made. Saving this drawing file. So it's okay. Only SLD DRV file extension. It's drawing. I'm saving it. Rebuild. Okay. So what happens? I need to create a table of the parts, and you see it's a lot of parts. Bill of material, choosing this and creating here. You see the table is quite big, and if I need to adding all elements here. It's also still not all parts. We don't have bolts, screws, the nuts, the washers we don't have here. This list will be like 1/4 bigger. For that purpose, I need to reducing the number of parts. How I do that? I need to creating sub-assemblies. I choosing here, these parts, holding to shift button on the keyboard, and I could checking, marking all parts here, or I could choosing here. If I know that, or 40 up to here, with holding shift button on the keyboard, I choose it, selected this parts, it's okay, and from this, right click on the mouse button, I could doing, creating, expanding it, form new sub-assembly. Click form new sub-assembly and reuse the top one. It's okay, error with the mates, we excluding after this the mates, but now we have smaller amount of parts in the main assembly file. The similar we need to do here with these parts, so 4 profiles and 1 plate. From this also we need to form new sub-assembly. Good, I have 1 sub-assembly, second sub-assembly, and third one. Click here, right click, form new sub-assembly. Good. So now I reduce it, this main sub-assembly file or drawing only to 3 parts. If I producing the drawing from this assembly file, of course this is new one, but still you need to check it again, and if you click here, auto balloon, so we have not a lot of parts and we need to check the elements, not everything, multiple instances, not circular quantity, where it is auto balloons, source not very well. Okay, check it again. So I try to reducing it. Why I can't reducing? Okay, I will check later the next time reviewing why happens so, but usually I have only 3 parts, and maybe if it's errors on the assembly, sub-assemblies, could be this solution is wrong. After I checking it, so now we see that happens some errors here. And why happens the errors? Well, errors happens that inside we have the sub-assemblies that is not separate files at the beginning. We need to open the sub-assemblies, and now the sub-assemblies is only virtual, not physical, saved in the memory of computer. we need to save it and under another file name. So, and assembly of assemblies. Good, and maybe assembly of bottom 01. Assembly bottom 01. Save. So, good, now I can close it. The next it is I need to save this subassembly, opening it. It's also virtual. Saving the name. Okay. Assembly 4040 01. Close it. And another one assembly. I need to search this. You see the name and saving under another name. And assembly 2020 01. So now we have fully saved 3 assemblies, and now we need to checking their needs. Why happens it? The best choice if we deleting it. This, yeah. So if you remember, we placed, example, this part distance from this part up to this part, and this part also has the mate here. It means double mate. Now you have the created here assembly, sub-assembly, and now it is enough to place only one of them. Example, or distance here, or the mate, the coincident mate here. You don't need double to adding the mates. And that is the error happens. The best choice, choosing one of them and delete it. I don't checking, nothing, simple deleting. Deleting. Okay, I see another one. Good, deleting another one. Another appears, deleting. I don't caring, nothing, deleting with the errors. Now it's good. Without errors we have. But we need to ask, is this good or not good? If you look here at the beginning, it's all with the minus sign. It means not very well positioned in the 3D environment. For your choice, no one can check it. You don't need care about that. Simple, you're doing the drawings, and that is enough. But if you need to adding other mates, you need to adding other sub-assemblies or assemblies of the parts, still you need to positioning fully. How you can do that? Example, bottom part. Now the sub-assembly is like one part. And the first one, I choose it this, the bottom is the main part. To that is attaching another sub-assemblies and parts. And the best way, if I click and fixing the first part. Fixing, now it means good. This third one also itself again fixes fully in environment. I can't move it, and I check this, so this I can move. It means not very well positioned. With the minus sign it is. So I need to positioning well. It's wrong. How I can do that? So I have the hole here, and still this hole was for the assembling this part, and I need to positioning here. So I doing the mate, checking the circular element, checking again here circular element and position it. Checking or is good or not, assign it, and checking or everything well. So you don't see minus signs. Position it very well. How I can check it? Moving. Try to move this part, I can't move. This part, I can't move. This part, I can't move. I agree with this. So, maybe have you questions?
What's the difference from just one assembly process? How will it look different now that you make sub-assembly?
Example, it is the first one thing, it is you need, if are possible to assembling parts separately, like 3 sub-assemblies to have, you need to do that. Why? Well, in the production line, totally in the industry, it is the question always how many people's working on the same project. And could happen that at the same time you have the profile, the bigger one, but you don't have the smaller one. Or maybe you don't have the plates here. The best solution it is to create 3 sub-assemblies. It means by different time, separate peoples could assembling these 3 assemblies, sub-assemblies. And after, if all parts are placed in the in the company, another guy could assembling all assemblies together. This is better and faster for the production. It's from another viewpoint, yeah, you reducing the time for the assembly.
So each sub-assembly then should get to, if we give it to different departments?
Yes, always. So the question it is, the next question it is, if you placing 100 parts, example here, it's about 100 parts, totally will be with all bolts, nuts, and other holders and screws. So how many cutted views, how many cutted views or other design elements you need to place into the main assembly file for show all mates? I think it's very difficult. Well, you need to doing a lot. Usually, the same way you need to also totally, if you're looking into the whole project, all these parts should be placed and show it for the guys that are doing assemblies and production. But if you separating into the separate sub-assemblies, this could be provided on smaller paper size, example A3 formats, one sub-assembly, and after the parts. And what happens if you all views, cuts, cutted views, design elements, you need to place into one paper sheet. And it is not enough A1, A0, I don't know, you need to have maybe 2 meters times 2 meters, so big the paper sheet. It's difficult to implement everything into one view. In that case, you need, if you have more parts, you need to checking it, complecting together, assembling into separate sub-assemblies.
I was just double checking.
Yeah, understood you. So at the end, I show to you how looks the total the bill of materials, the table of specifications that you need doing in the time of bachelor work, how looks, and what is difference between term and term. You will see at the end of semester. Do you have questions maybe?